PM everyone. So I apologize for the late notice here. I posted in announcements just a few minutes ago. We've been sort of busy at work polishing the Cosmos stuff to get features like staking and reward claiming and all that live. So I think we're going to just skip on demos for this week, and we will hold them on the 27th as scheduled. So I haven't spoken with DeFi yet, but I imagine we could benefit from a stand-up.
Yeah, we can benefit from a stand-up. We can do this as stand-up if you want. We could roll into, if someone wants to demo the Cosmos staking and delegation stuff, because that's likely to be released tomorrow. What do you reckon about that?
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
Cool.
I just know I've been tied up and haven't spoken enough with people about solid material to put a roster together. It's probably mostly on me being heads down the hole on beta stuff.
Totally. Alrighty. Let's do a regular stand-up then. I'm going to do a few announcements or high-level things first, just because we're in this period of wrapping up Cosmos. But first thing I want to talk about is release process. So now that we've the release process kind of matured, we're still doing Tuesday and Thursday releases. I've gone and updated the docs for basically everything that like Major Hayes or I have been doing that works really well with operations. So if people could please kind of like review these docs and make any suggestions. I've added like templates to use in the operations channel and exactly what needs to be done. Basically, anyone who is a member of GitHub can create the release branch and manage the release process, and you just need a code owner at the end to merge it. But that's not like a review. It's just like when everyone signs off on it, we'll just basically hit the button. It's just because of branch protection. But please have a review of this and ask any questions or if there's anything missing or out of date. But as of like tomorrow onwards, we'll be asking for like a volunteer and hopefully someone who hasn't done a release before to be the release manager, basically. So that's the first thing. Also, product and engineering roadmap. As we're kind of wrapping up Cosmos, we've got a lot of we got some refactor stuff kicking off, like the single-sided staking abstraction is happening, like the new EVM networks is happening as well. So there's a lot of stuff on the technical roadmap that's not necessarily on the product roadmap. So I'd ask everyone on engineering to kind of like familiarize yourself with what's currently on the product roadmap. None of these dates are set in stone, and we can work with product to kind of shift these around. But if there's any kind of like technical work that you'd like to do, like refactoring or improvements or abstractions, please highlight them to both Major Hayes first and myself, and we can work with product to make sure that they get put onto the roadmap and that features get pushed out accordingly so we can shuffle things around here. So, we're trying to capture the what's going to be done, when it's going to be done, and who's going to do it. So we just need to include the product stuff on here. Last thing is the dashboard's going to be getting a little bit more love soon. We have kind of neglected that, focusing on the Cosmos Epic entirely, but as we've got a lot more things kicking off, we're going to have separate tabs for each of the kind of epics in progress, so we get more granular visibility into kind of everything happening. So I've asked product to create like milestones for each of the features coming up across all of the repos. So we'll be able to track like an epic or a feature, and this can be like a product-facing thing or an engineering thing, like the single-sided staking refactor and what we have to do. So we should be able to get a good view of kind of everything that's happening, like product and engineering wise, in one spot, basically, with Kanban boards for each. So that'll be kind of our focus next week. Get a bit more hygiene on the board and run and go back to running stand-ups, kind of driving on this. So just bear with us as we work through that. But let's go from the top of the list today, just in terms of people. Ocean, what do you got going on, sir?
Morning. Gosh, what do I have going on? Still, yeah, kind of navigating, trying to get some of those bounties paid out. Heard back from Idle Finance this morning, and it looks like they're planning on getting the registry spun up soon. So that's great. It means that we're closer to being able to just integrate everything in terms of Solidity with them. Yeah, other than that, not too much for me today.
Awesome. Thank you. Freedom Gang.
Yeah, so yesterday got the Cosmos Sends and Thorchain stuff working, tested in mobile app. Spent some time working with Peter on that. Along the way, we discovered that the Cosm.js package we're using for protobuf encoding needs a iOS version newer than 13. So either we need some way to deal with the protobuf stuff without Cosm.js or patch it in some way, or we need to be okay with not supporting iOS prior to 14, I believe. Peter may have some details, or feel free to correct me if I misstated any of that.
No, that's correct. The within the emulator, any version of iOS 13 or prior wasn't working. The app wasn't loading properly. iOS 14 came out in 2020, but supports iPhones all the way back to 6S, which came out in 2015. So yeah, we have two options. We could either break mobile for iOS 13 or patch the Cosm.js package so that it's not using a big int, which came out for ECMAScript 2020.
So I guess I'm basically looking for input from product and ops and anyone else with an opinion. Aside from that, I worked with Elmut some on the Cosmos stuff, and I won't steal his thunder, but we found some pretty good stuff that should help us out.
Cool. All right. Thank you. Beard, anything from product?
Nope, just hanging out.
Sweet. Okay. Run down the list. Jay. Oh no, let's go to Ccash first.
Hi, GM. Nothing from me today. I was off, and I will be off tomorrow also. I will be back on Friday if there is an issue for me, or I will pick up something from the backlog.
Awesome. Thank you. Jay.
Nothing from me. Stacked queue. Let me know if you need anything on the banks up front. And that was all good.
Awesome. Thank you. Elmar.
Yo, yeah, so like Adam mentioned, there's some kind of...
That's your background noise, yeah.
No, it's not. Anyway, as Adam said, so I was looking at the failed transactions for Cosmos. We weren't correctly detecting them. Let's see, traced back a bunch, started looking into that. Basically, what we found was without indexing every single block that comes in, it's actually impossible from a Cosmos node to get failed transactions. So we looked around a little bit more. We discovered Data Hub that we're using actually has this kind of indexed endpoint called transactions that's above and beyond like a standard node, but it solves like a ton of problems we have with transactions. It'll give us the failed transactions we need. If you remember, we were having to call get block on every TX to like add additional block data. into it, like the timestamp and height and stuff, and it was like kind of hacky and pretty heavy on calling data hub. This will also solve that. So like prevent tons of calls there, include failed transactions. And then also like we were doing the way we were doing it, calling the node before, the only way we knew how was to get sends and receives in two separate calls to the node. And we were doing this like super messy code to combine them, remove duplicates. And then like the cursor had like two different pages it was tracking to figure out like how to paginate on the back end. And this will also solve that. So like basically what we're getting, we're kind of tying ourselves to like this data hub specific call that does some indexing, and like maybe in the future, if it fell down, we would have to write like our own indexer quickly that does similar. But for what we get for being tied to data hub for this, we kind of figured it's worth it. So what was I saying? Yeah, I'm just working on that, working with Adam. Gonna have a PR here hopefully today, or kind of fighting through the Golang of that.
Okay, cool. Whose hot mic is that?
Yang Bang, can you mute? Or don't come back.
Yeah. All right, kicked him. James Stewart.
Yeah, posted a discussion yesterday, as well as worked on the WebSockets and some other Unchained stuff. Today, I'm specifically looking into the timeout with CI. Hoping to figure that out, do some more WebSockets, maybe start another discussion on something else.
Okay, cool. That's related to the Cypress stuff, right? So the mocking WebSocket stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. Apotheosis will be the point of contact there for that stuff. It'd be good to get those tests non-flaky. Appreciate it. Gomes.
Jamal? Yes, there's still some focus on Cosmos, although from a different angle. I was trying to tackle the performance issues on overfetching on the client that we currently have before this is released, so we don't get actually rocked by Unchained with too much data fetching. And related to that, we also had some architectural discussion with DeFi to actually refactor that staking data slice that was created for Cosmos. So the direction we'll go there is that we'll basically remove that slice almost entirely and let the portfolio and transaction providers and contacts handle all of the data fetching, which is a direction that we are trying to get to not have too much data fetching on the, or to not have any data fetching on the components themselves. So yeah, I started with that today. It's quite a huge refactor, so my whole focus was on that. And we'll stop at some point to do some code reviews. I saw that StackQ had some 2 PRs on the fiat ramps, so I'll have a look at that.
Nice. That's very good. Yeah. And on that note of that refactor, kind of realized in discussions with Gomes yesterday and chatted to Major Hayes this morning, I'm probably going to do like an overview of web architecture, just so everyone's kind of on the same page of how to make those big changes, of how we kind of like normalize data, how the data fetching works, how the different layers of things work, the API thing, the reducers, the selector layer, just how we structure things correctly so we get good performance. But appreciate that, Gomes. Wrapping up from the Cosmos stuff. Highlander, any updates?
GM, back from my trip. I'll get back into things today. Keeping an eye on that Wallet Connect bounty, if anything comes up from that. But yeah, I'm just looking if anybody has anything. Probably be working on Osmosis.
Sweet. Thanks, sir. Josh? Go ahead, Ocean.
Did I hear you say that you're going to do an architectural overview? And if so, when was that?
I haven't booked that yet, but I'll probably book it for some time like next week.
Sweet. Thanks.
You want to come to that? I assume that unmute was a yes. I'll make sure you're invited to that one.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben.
Cool. Josh?
GM, everybody. I don't have anything like a update, but I did have a quick question. Sean and Adam, this new endpoint that you found, is it going to solve the performance issues also to use this new endpoint?
I don't know about that. There seem to maybe be like additional data hub issues that we're not sure why they're happening still, but this is a really good step in the right direction for spamming them less from Unchained. But I don't want to say for certain it'll solve everything, but it makes things more efficient and the code a lot cleaner.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Kevin will be happy when he comes back as well. Curious. Not sure if you're just listening in this morning.
Yep, just listening in. Yeah, I'm going to be taking a look at a couple of PRs, getting myself ready for the bounty that I'll be taking on. So just doing a little recon today.
Sweet. Thank you. Yeah, Cooney's going to be taking on the Kepler wallet bounty, basically getting that integrated, which would be great. So we get, first-class wallet support for the Cosmos ecosystem. Appreciated. LPX, do you want to give an update from globalization?
Yeah, so kind of stuck right now because normally what we do is package all the translation updates and then make a PR. But since there's two PRs that touches the translation lookup files, it's not playing too nicely with our platform, translation platform. And to add on top of that, to be honest, GitHub's not my strength, nor its TypeScript. So trying to figure out a better flow for the continuous localization.
Yeah, so this is an ongoing kind of thing, and I wrote up a ticket for that, didn't I? I feel like I did. I can't recall. But we probably should get someone like maybe Gomes after you're done with the refactor stuff to and work with like Zcash to spike on a like proper translation service so we can do this like continuous translation thing.
Yeah, I would have some capability on that after the refactor.
Yeah, sweet. Does that work with you, LPX? If you could like work with Gomes so we can pick something that works from engineering side and you can give the input on like if this is going to work with translators?
Of course, that'd be very appreciated.
Awesome. Yeah, because we got those translations in and then we turned them on. Like Stacked Queue helps us turn those on, and now we in this moving target of trying to keep translations updated. So I think it's about time we address that properly, and that's something we should add to the. I've added that to the roadmap that can be done after the, the refactor stuff that Gomes is currently doing. So that'd be great. Major Hayes.
Yeah, so the main thing I'm working on is single-sided staking abstraction. I have a PR out there that I've mentioned for a couple of days for named error handling as a groundwork for making error handling consistent. And I'm also working on an abstract class and some interfaces for doing single-sided staking. There's a discussion topic. If you go to GitHub and go to the, did I put it in lib or web? I think it's in lib. And then you go to discussions. There's a discussion topic there. And there's an ever-evolving abstract class and interfaces there. So anyone who's got any input, please comment on that discussion so we can kind of finalize that. And that's, I think, it for me.
Cool. Thanks, sir. Middle name.
Morning. Yesterday, spent a little bit more time looking at Bitcoin and Gesture pod restarts. Still think that's resource related. Haven't found the root cause just yet. Also started looking at Ethereum, RabbitMQ, queues getting very backed up, and us eventually running out of storage space on those persistent volumes. And like clockwork, on Tuesday, it happened in our taxi stake cluster, which is customer facing. And then yesterday, we had the same event happen on our ShapeShift cluster, which isn't serving any traffic. So that's great that we can see the same thing happen in both environments. I'm going to spend a lot of time digging into the ShapeShift side where it still failed so that I can better understand what's going on. Between those two kind of reactionary units of work, I'm also working on EBS snapshotting. Got the customer resource definition installed in my dev cluster. Everything's looking good on that. And that's it for me.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Mr. Nodehead.
Kiki firmware stuff today. We've got I don't know what you call it, release candidate, I guess, for security stuff. About halfway through review for the Cosmos stuff. I'll be trying to test it on some real devices today. The signed version, and if all goes well, we can make the release process happen, hopefully.
Great. Thank you. So we're on track for the firmware release for Cosmos.
Is there a question directed at Nerd Hair?
Oh yeah, sorry. I believe so.
Okay,
it's
cool.
more of a pasta thing, I guess. I don't know.
Pasta, how do you feel about it?
From my perspective, things are good. Just it's what am I trying to say? Just pending the security review at the moment. But yeah, feature complete. Copy is good on screen and produces what appear to be valid signatures. I'm going to need some help from. Well, I can. Well, I guess I'll just go now anyway.
Yes, go for it.
Yeah. So yeah, yesterday worked with Nerd Hair quite a bit, reviewing the RDP stuff that's going in for Kiki firmware. That's going to be a release separate from the Cosmos feature. Cosmos feature is in a good spot now. I got all the copy updated. Each of the new transactions are producing valid signatures. Made some further changes to HD Wallet so that from chain adapters, the HD Wallet calls will be routed to the right place so that we can sign legacy transactions on KeepKey and the protobuf encoded Cosmos transactions on HD Wallet native. This morning, modified the chain adapters build send transaction call for the Cosmos chain adapter build send transaction call to use the flags that were added to HD Wallet KeepKey. And I'm going to talk with Adam a little bit later about adding a separate broadcast endpoint to Unchained so that we can broadcast legacy encoded Cosmos transactions. What else? Thanks about all we're doing today. Yeah, yeah, I think that'll help today. So.
Sweet. Jumping back up to Neo Making.
Hi, GM. I didn't work on anything since yesterday, so I'm just here listening.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Ryan.
GM. Yeah, so yesterday I was working on the issue that we found with the Cosmos account page. Saw some a slight difference in how the breadcrumbs work with different navigation paths, but I think that's kind of what has been consistent with what we have in prod right now. So don't think it's a problem, but yeah, I have a PR up for that fix. If I could get some feedback on that, that would be great. And then today I want to continue to do a little bit more spiking into the swapper refactor stuff. Want to get at some point probably Major Hayes' time to kind of go through some things, but probably either today or sometime later on this week. But that is the plan for me.
Cool. Thanks, sir. Would Beard be able to help out with that at all to get that breadcrumb stuff across the line?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. So, like I was saying, I don't think that the issue that I was seeing was that as tabs inside of a specific account page where you can tab from the overview or the transactions. Sometimes those were showing up in certain assets, and sometimes they weren't in others. And I think that that is expected behavior currently, but has nothing to do with like the Cosmos bug that we were seeing beforehand. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think. I mean, me and Beer can talk to kind of go through it, but I don't think it's an issue.
Sweet. Thanks, sir. Q.
Hey, yeah. So I'm still working on the Fiat ramps refactor and bank setting, and all the blocks are gone. I got the turned out I didn't need the API key for banks, so they sent me a referral kind of link, and I'm going to implement that for tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Banks are, just for people listening to demos, another fiat ramp which is offering us affiliate revenues for that. So it's another revenue stream for the DAO and gives people more choice rather than just using Gem. So 2 different ramps that are available, which is going to be great. Theobald.
Yeah, yesterday coordinated the release 1.4.4. Also worked with Adam on his PR to mobile to see why it wasn't loading on my emulator, and we found that broke iOS 13. So we'll want to talk to product there and see our path forward. Once we are clear on that, happy to do an OTA today if we get a path forward. And then also today we have a kickoff for the mobile migration to the V2 app. So anybody that wants to join in, Adam, I think you're going to be working on the back end there, so it might be useful. This is at 2 p.m. mobile migration kickoff.
Yep, I'll be there.
Cool, awesome. And anybody else who wants to join in, Willie, I'm not sure where we're doing that. If you know,
Going to be in the engineering all access channel.
okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll be there at 2 p.m. and getting ready to start off the migration kickoff.
Awesome. Over. Sounds good. Moving down. Well, I guess Willie.
You want me to do a demo?
Yeah, man. Tell me anything you want.
What do I want to
just give us an update. Spread the energy.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
demo Willie.
I could probably find something to demo real quick. But yeah, update. We got the mobile migration kickoff this afternoon. Really excited about that. It's pretty smooth UI UX and will be a nice path for existing ShapeShift native wallet users to be able to import their wallet into the new app just by logging in with password and email. And then once we're confident that's going well, we'll kick off part 2, which is to actually wrap the app.shapeshift.com in a mobile app, iOS and Android, and get it submitted to the App Store. And basically what that will do is the next time these mobile users open their app, they'll see the new version, and we'll kind of be forced to migrate. It's kind of like we're redirecting these app users to the new version.
Sweet. We have some technical questions about that one, but we can figure that out. So, all right, back to our regularly scheduled programming demos. So Gomes, basically, he read a lot of the front end code for Cosmos, the staking delegation stuff that's going to be released tomorrow, and he's going to give us a sneaky demo of basically the staking delegation functionality in production behind the feature flag. So, Games, whenever you're ready, if you want to like share a screen, and we can get
sure. And you didn't jinx it, so that'll work perfectly.
Well, let's see.
All right, so let me share that. Alrighty, can you all see my screen?
Okay.
Perfect. Oops, whoopsie. All right, so yeah, this is the actually loaded page of Cosmos with some staking there. to make sure that I don't get rugged by Unchained. So let's set the flow from the start. So as you can see, I have a small amount of Cosmos there, so that's my balance. But actually, I have quite a lot more that's actually stakes. I have some stake in ShapeShiftDAO. I'm not going to show this one because I have a lot of delegations, and I maxed out on the delegations that you can actually have on Delegator. So I'm going to the Cosmos Station one. So this is the same view that you guys probably seen the last demo, where you can actually see your stake overview status. So if you're staked, like if you delegate in one validator, you'll be able to access this overview. In case you're not, you'll have to get started with the flow with the ShapeShift validator. But yeah, in this case, that's Cosmos Station, so I'm staked there. Here I can see my rewards amount. I can actually claim it if I want to. It's not a lot, but it's still money. So yeah, so from there I actually claimed. We do have some reload, so it will take a bit of time for the WebSocket to come over. But when that's done, it will reload. But let's not be too optimistic on that because it always takes a few seconds and it's WebSocket. So yeah, at some point it'll reload with the claimed amount gone from the rewards. Yeah, also here we have all our unstaking that are currently in progress with the amount of days that we have until that's available in the wallet. So I can actually even unstake a new one. So let's say I want to, let's say to unstake that amount. I can do that right now. Confirm and broadcast, unstake from Cosmos Station. And yeah, this unstake is broadcasted. Same thing that reloads from WebSocket, but again, that's prod. So yeah, it's probably not entirely perfect there yet, but yeah, it does reload from the WebSocket. Same thing staking. You can stake some amounts. Choose your fee. Let's do it with low this time. Reload. Again, in real life, you won't have to actually reload, but yeah, WebSockets. If I don't get rugged by Unchained, that should.
There we go. Demo couldn't go perfectly.
Yeah, it's gotta happen.
Thank you. There's always a moment where it happens. Yeah, we have some routing issues that are going to be merged for release. That's probably why. But yeah, now if I do actually reload that, wait a second. Here. Was I rugged again? No. All right, looks like I was rugged. Demo about it. No, actually, it's probably because of that. Because we do have a feature flag. Yeah, and if we go there again, as we can see, the amount of unstaking is actually, there's one more than before. And all the rewards are claimed. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, actually as you can see, this is a live reload from NewTX coming over. And we do also have the amount of rewards on the row itself. We do have the stake amount here on the staking row itself, all the API information, the nice moniker, the nice images from that validator. And we also have it actually in the DeFi section, thanks to CXCash. So same thing here, you can see your current stake value for one opportunity. So this is the one at ShapeShift, the one at Cosmos Station. You can see the current API, same thing as in the dashboard or in the account section. And in Earn, you also have rows for that. Since here I'm actually staked already, in some validators. In this case, if I do click there, it will open the overview. But same thing, if I was not staked to any, it would just show the ShapeShift DAO default one, and I'll be able to do the whole get started flow and start staking if I never staked on that account. And I think that's pretty much it for now. Didn't get rocked so much here, like it went quite smoothly.
Yeah,
Not too bad for demo. We might all have a look at what that issue was, but I don't think that should hold us up shipping either. So just for everyone watching as well, that was testing in production on a feature flag. So very small changes to go in today, and then we'll be shipping that tomorrow. So,
yeah.
Nope. Oh, out,
We got
disconnect.
another one.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, that looked awesome. I mean, that went about as flawlessly as a demo without planning can go.
Yeah, and that WebSocket, just for information, like it's unchained. Most of the performance issues have been fixed there, and actually we know also how to debug, like if there is some last small issues there. But hopefully the WebSocket should be stable by now. But yeah, we haven't tested it on prod yet, so that'll be the prod testing for the WebSocket.
Very nice.
I'm going on
I guess go ahead, Willie.
I'm doing a Cosmos podcast, Citizen Cosmos, tonight at 11 p.m. I think they're in Asia, so planning to flip that feature flag on and give them a sneak peek. Thanks, Gomez.
Yeah, let's go. Amazing.
Sweet.
Yeah. Marketing was asking for some copy around what it means for people as well, which is super cool. Last minute ambush. Does anyone want to demo anything that's happening?
Nerd hair.
Nope, you got me today.
Oh,
sorry.
Cool.
No credit cards today.
Oh.
Alrighty. I guess
Thank
in that
you
case
for
we might.
normally surprising us. Anyway, nerd hair. I appreciate
Well,
it.
in
I
a
know you're
way,
super
I
busy with
surprised
things.
you.
You did.
Awesome. All right. Well, in that case, I think that apologies we don't have more to demo, but I think the Cosmos demo is pretty cool in and of itself. We're going to have a bunch of stuff in coming weeks to demo with all of the other features kicking off, new fiat ramps, new currencies, heaps of things, new wallets. So stay tuned for the next one. But